give her a second just in case she changed her mind here. Okay. And then Noelle, I think for Nebraska Children, we don't have any big updates either. And I think that we will let Candace and her team do their presentation.
Okay, great. I'm just going to introduce them quick. Thanks, Steph. So we just wanted to update everyone on some of the fantastic work communities in Nebraska are doing with SRSA dollars. We had the opportunity to gather some fresh data last week and discovered that the 28 communities contracting with Nebraska Children for SRSA dollars through our partnership with the Department of Health and Human Services have already increased capacity by 341 spots since contracts began, and that was just this past July 1st. So there's also another 800 additional spots planned by April 2024. So we're super, super excited about that. We are so grateful for the work these communities are doing on an unprecedented timeline, and with so many pieces of documentation to keep track of that we get to harass them for. So I'd love to introduce Bobby and Candace. I know they said hello already, but they are from Bayard, so they can talk about the successes and challenges they have faced. They're a shining example of hard work paying off. Bayard gets it done. So Bobby and Candace, we'd love for you to talk about how you arrived at wanting to develop a program, the shift that happened, the success of opening, and how the SRSA dollars helped get you there.
Great. And we love being on camera. So we have a little bit of a presentation if we could share that.
Absolutely.
Can everybody see that okay?
Yep, we see it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, our story is something we're really proud of, so we wanted to share it with you guys. We have this on a poster hanging outside of our child care center here in our elementary school. But first off, I'd like to thank Nebraska Children, Families, and DHHS for the opportunity that we were able to bring to our community by securing the C4K grant and the CRSA dollars. Our journey began a little over a year ago. Our former elementary principal and our superintendent were able to secure the C4K grant, and then they chose to leave us, and we picked up the pieces and we got it done. We kind of developed a core team of 3 of us. One of our school board members was a former daycare owner, and we had asked her to kind of do a feasibility study and go out and research other child care centers and see if it was something that we could sustain in our community. And then Candace here was selected for our elementary principal, and she jumped on board when she took on that role. Her former role was our family liaison coordinator for our district, so she was pretty well introduced to it before, but she became a core member at that time when she became the elementary principal. We started working probably late spring hard on this project. Rachel kept us accountable. We had weekly meetings. Candace and I have kids in sports, and so does Kim, our 3rd member of our core team, and we would be on meetings at baseball games. We would be on meetings cooking supper, stuffing our faces with food. We just made it really important that we stuck to our timelines and held each other accountable through our process. We were successfully able to become a child care center January 20th of this year, and our doors are open and we have kids in our building. We were able to select a board of directors at the beginning of our school year. They consist of Kim, who is one of the core members, and one of the school board members. She's the president. We have parents. We have some school staff. We also have our other daycare provider in our community. She is a member. We brought her on board. We felt it was important that she felt we were supporting her and we had her support and that we weren't competing against her. We were able, one of our mottos through this process was get on the agenda. We were able to meet with the city. We were looking at being a school-owned child care center in the beginning, but when we started thinking about sustainability with the cost of staffing and the benefit packages, midsummer, we revamped the direction we were going, and we went out to our city and got on the agenda and asked for the partnership to be the fiscal sponsor of the grant to show separation between the school and the child care center. And the child care center became its own entity that's a community-owned private child care center. And so we got to get our feet wet in a lot of new areas of creating an entity, and a lot more work than what we realized we were in for. We also were able to partner with the city and secure some Keno funds for scholarships for families that may need them. And I'd like to thank Nebraska First 5. They came out and did a community presentation at the beginning of the year. We had like our town banker, our city officials, and some other community members present to show the impact, not only on us as a school and parents, but, you know, the economic development importance of having childcare in your community, because we are a bedroom community. Most of our people work outside of town, but just reside here. We are the largest employer here at the school district. So here's kind of our little brochure. I'll let you talk on this one.
So our childcare center is actually hosted in our elementary school. We have a little bit different setup. One of our directors is also a preschool teacher. So in the morning, she runs a 3-year-old preschool room. And then in the afternoon, that room transitions to our child care center. And then we have a second room that is child care center all day long. So this is a kind of one of our brochures. I'm a little partial to one of those babies, as about the time that I joined this group, I found out that I was expecting. And so now I get to bring my baby to work with me every single day, and he's just down the hallway. But it's been an excellent partnership just between the school and our community. I really don't think that we had several community meetings to kind of get some guidance on what the level of quality and expectation that our town and everybody surrounding really wanted. And so that was really what guided all of our choices in how we rolled this out. This is a picture from our open house and ribbon cutting not too long ago. You'll see some of our core team members down here, some of our staff members and board members. It was a long time coming, and it felt like a long time, but when we stop and look at it, we did this in about a year, almost to the day. So, and we have to do a shout out to Rachel, because she was really the cheerleader in all of this. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of times that we were kind of beating our heads up against the wall going, what were we thinking trying to do this in warp speed? But we had a great time. So there were a lot of one-liners in our meetings. So if you notice the back of our t-shirt, those were kind of our go-to of just keeping motivated to get the job done. And now we're up and going. We've got kids in the building. I think we've gotten more almost every single day, and since we opened the end of January. So I think this is going to be a game changer for our community.
Does anyone have any questions for us on any of our process?
I just want to say kudos to you. She's shaking her head. With Sixpence, we work with center-based programs, and when we expanded, we took on some smaller public schools that were wanting to have a childcare in their building, just very similar to yours, and they were kind of like, what the heck are we getting into? Where do we? So I would encourage you to, if you ever feel like you need someone to talk to too, please feel free to reach out. I can put my email in the box. I do have some connections with other small school districts like yours that are doing the exact same thing that you are. And sometimes you feel very isolated, but you're doing it right and it looks wonderful, and great job.
Thank you.
I just want to say total rock star status. Ditto, Deb. Rock star status. Awesome. Way to go.